guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I changed the oil on my 2023 Honda Fireblade. This is the first time I've actually changed the oil on this one. I just got it a few months ago, and I know the previous owner changed the oil a few times, pretty frequently. I think he said at 600 miles and then once after that. I don't remember exactly what, but it's definitely due for another oil change, so we're going to be doing that today. Really quick, I'm just going to show you what oil and filter I'm going to be using. The filter is M1-103A. Not that it really matters, but just Google it, find the one that fits. This is the one that I'm going to be using because the person that sold me the bike had this left over, was planning to do an oil change soon, and then just didn't have the time or whatever happened with that, so he just gave me the filter. He also gave me this oil. That's the only one he gave me, so I'm not going to be using it just because there's not enough. And I would rather use all of the same oil when I put it in there, but this is the Kawasaki brand oil. It's not actually produced or manufactured by Kawasaki, which is sort of misleading, but they literally just take a random brand of oil and slap their label on it. As you can see down here, it says manufactured in the US from domestic and imported components for Kawasaki. So it is actually not made by Kawasaki, if anyone's wondering. So you can literally, honestly, just use whatever brand you want. Just make sure that it is 10W40 when we're talking about putting it in a Fireblade. So yeah, this is the oil that we're going to be using and the filter. Alright, so step one is we're going to be taking off this piece right here. It is just one big piece that goes under the bike, and there's like 3 bolts or something on each side, so I'm going to be just using this because it has bolts from Pro Bolt in it, so they're a little bit different. You can't use the hex keys like I normally do on other bikes. So we're going to be using this little screwdriver thing to take off the bolts and this piece here, and then you'll be able to see the drain bolt and the filter underneath from the other side after I do that. Of course, there's one bolt on the other side. It's like a totally different size from all the rest of the bolts. I have to find a different attachment for, but get the rest of them out for this at least. I literally have a whole case just for projects, random projects. So I take my bolts and I just put them in a spot so I can remember what I've done and what I haven't. That way they stay organized and you don't lose them. Okay, time to find the actual attachment for this. I got this thing on Amazon. I don't remember what the brand is or anything like that, but literally the most helpful thing in the entire world. It has all of these random attachments, and you would not believe how often I use this when I work on projects, because there's always something that comes up and I'm like, well, shoot, I don't have the correct whatever for that. I look in here and it's almost always in here. It's amazing. Alright, as you guys can see, this is absolutely disgusting, so I'm gonna take this and go wash it off really quick. But yeah, this is all you have to do is just take this giant whole piece off. It should come off as one big thing. Even these fairings are from Monster fairings, by the way, so they're not the, obviously they're not the stock fairings that come on it, but they do fit the same and everything, same bolt placement as far as I'm aware. So yep, so it's pretty much the same thing. You should be able to do exactly what I just did with your fairings as well. And then if we come down here, this is gonna be your oil filter. Had some nasty stuff on it. And then down here, this is your drain bolt. Okay, so now that we've taken the fairings off, we've kind of got it prepped and ready for the actual oil change. Really important first step before we do that, we're going to take key, turn it on and warm it up for a little bit. You're gonna let it run for like 2-3 minutes, something like that. I'm gonna do that while I go clean off the other piece from the bottom because it's pretty nasty, and then yeah, I'll let you guys hear the bike too because I love the sound that this exhaust has. It's absolutely amazing. The thing is so loud, but I love it. So we're gonna let it warm up, and then I'll show you the steps for actually changing the oil after that. Alright, so we have the socket wrench here. Drain bolt is a size 12. Pro tips on this one, wear gloves. You don't want boiling hot 200-degree oil on your hands. And then also, so the drain bolt is gonna be this right here. And so obviously put down an oil pan. You don't want oil going everywhere. And then just make sure, because the exhaust is obviously right here, that's also going to be about 200 degrees. So you really don't want to touch that because it will hurt. So just be careful with what you're doing. It's gonna be a lot easier with a socket. You probably want one of these instead of a wrench, pro tip, but honestly, do whatever you want. Good luck. And yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and open that drain bolt up. Okay, once it pops loose like that, now is when you gotta pull this back. Make sure it's under there. It's gonna shoot out this way, so you don't want that getting all over everything. You can hand loosen this. The bolt is hot, which means that the oil is also going to be hot. Make sure you don't lose the bolt in the oil when it comes out. Just like that. Okay, so up here, we're gonna be loosening the, where is it? Sorry, we're gonna be loosening the dipstick all the way. You don't have to take it out, just loosen it to let the air flow through, and we're gonna be taking out this one as well. Just make sure you put it somewhere where it's not gonna get like nasty and dirty. So another paper towel is fine for that. Just leave those two there. And then I usually wait until this stops dripping all the way to do anything with it. And then the next step that we're gonna do is gonna be taking this off as well. I'm gonna take a filter wrench and see if I can get it off fairly easily with this. These things are literal lifesavers. If you don't have one, I would recommend. It's gonna make your time so much easier, and this will spray oil too, so I'll try to have it not do that. I'm just gonna let it drip out here so it doesn't go everywhere. There's not too much that comes out of this, but there's some, so don't want to get it all over my white fairings is where I'm at. That, and this thing is pretty warm still. Ooh. Yeah, it's hot. Just leave it there. Alright, so I was about to go ahead and put oil on the rim of the new filter. This is the old one. I was looking at the two and I'm like, these are definitely not the same size. And when you look it up, it does look like this one fits. I don't really know. I'm not super confident, but based on the fact that this was the old one on the bike, and I've changed the oil on probably like 5-6 times on different bikes. I used to have two 650s, always put these exact filter on it. Great filters, have always worked for me, and so the fact that it's on this bike makes me not want to change it, and I don't really know much about this filter, so I was just literally handed it. So I'm thinking we're just going to put I have an extra on hand. We're just gonna put the same filter back on, but a new one, obviously. Have the new one here. And then this one also, this one has a plastic on it, so you can tell it's new. I mean, I know that it's new because I bought it new, but this one also did not have a plastic on it. which it looks new, but I'm not super confident on what's going on with this. So for now, we're just not going to use this one. I'm just going to use the same as the old one, I think, just to be safe until I figure out what's up with that. This is just the old KPO oil that I had on hand. I'm not going to use it for the bike, but I am going to put it on the filter. That was probably too much, but I'm just going to rub it around the inside here. Alright, and at this point that is hand tight, that is good. Obviously we're going to make sure that there's no oil or anything leaking out of it. If there is, you definitely need to stop and retighten it, but for now I believe that should be good. I've never had an issue hand tightening any filter ever, and they do come off easily enough to where you usually don't need any extra tools to make it happen. So this has been a pretty good process for me usually. Now that we've replaced the new filter, we're going to have to find a funnel, and then we're going to pour the oil through here. Always make sure that the area around it is clean and that the funnel itself is clean, because we don't want anything at all in the oil that would not be good for the bike. So we're going to do that for the next step here. Okay, so we are at the point of putting this bolt back in. Unfortunately, the filter does not come with a new washer, but as you can see, this one's not damaged in any way, so you can pretty much get away with using an old one if you don't get a new one with the filter. I wouldn't let it go too long without changing it, but for now I'm just gonna let it go because I really don't want to run to the hardware store again, because I already had to do that for oil. So today we're just gonna be putting the old one back on. This bolt already has some of the old oil left on it. It's pretty slick, so I'm not gonna bother rubbing any new oil on it either. But if it was for some reason like a new bolt or something, I would, just so that you can get it out later and it doesn't stick, kind of like the filter. But yeah, so you can pretty much just throw this back in there. I don't have a torque wrench, so I just gently tighten it. Doesn't need to be anything crazy, or you will literally never get this bolt off ever again. Alright, and that right there is good. So, of course, with this, make sure if you're not using a torque wrench, don't want any oil coming out of that. My exhaust is quite loud and quite obnoxious, so it rattles the bike a lot. That might be one reason to make sure that all of your bolts in general are pretty tightened. Alright, so I just put about 2.9 quarts of oil in. Gonna take my little drain bolt thing here, whatever you want to call it. Put this back. Put it right back where I found it. Just hand tighten it in there. We should be all good. Now what I'm going to do is start the bike up, let it warm up, probably not to 200 degrees again, because that was a lot. I kind of forgot about it for a few minutes while I was cleaning off the other piece, which looks so much better now, by the way. That helped it out a lot. But regardless, I'm going to let it warm up, maybe 175, something like that. And then we're going to check the dipstick, see where it's at, and go from there. Dipstick here, once it's had a little bit of time to warm up, you can feel that this is warm, so it's good. And then I'll pull this out. Okay, so the first time we pull this out, we're not going to do anything with it. We're going to take the paper towel. We're going to wipe this off all the way down. Make sure everything's off of it, and then put it back in. Not going to screw it back in, just insert it all the way, and then we're going to pull it straight out. The oil should be between the two lines. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd say it's fine. It looks okay. So, I'm going to screw that back in. I'm honestly not going to show you guys because it's pretty simple. Last step, we're just going to throw the fairings. We're just going to throw the fairings back on. Bottom piece. Put all the bolts back. Make sure that it's not dripping any type of oil, anything like that, which it has not been so far. And then I'm probably going to take it out for a little ride.